everybody. Arthur Arkush, Kevin Fishbain. I'm Hub Arkush. We're live at Hallis Hall as we wrap up Chicago Bears Rookie Minicamp. Now we've had a look at these young people. Time to talk about the impact they might be able to have in their rookie seasons with the Chicago Bears. And Kevin, it starts with Kevin White, obviously expected to make an impact immediately. Didn't really see anything this weekend to suggest he'll be unable to do that.
Yeah, you know, when we see Kevin White in training camp, I think we'll still be impressed. But when you put him out here at a rookie minicamp with a lot of just tryout players who weren't even drafted, it shows how fast he is, how big he is, how skilled he is at running routes. You know, this is somebody who was a lot of 9 routes. A lot of just go down the sideline, use your speed, go up and get it. And it was interesting to see him run some routes this week. And I think Bears fans are really going to like what he's going to bring to the offense.
Well, and speaking of day one starters, Kevin, I got the impression, and they brought Will Montgomery in for the veteran experience. He played well in Denver. But Hronis Grasu may be the rookie that these guys are highest on. Everybody speaks glowingly about his abilities.
Yeah, Adam Gase talked about how Grasu, the way he moves to the second level, is extremely impressive. And, you know, coming from an Oregon offense, he was always in the field. He's got to be very well conditioned to be running that offense. He's going to have to get used to the pro-style offense, of course, but I think it's a perfect situation because if he's not ready to go, you have Will Montgomery, you let him have an almost redshirt year, and then 2016, he could be your starting center for the long term.
Arthur, I don't make a lot of predictions in May about the NFL season, but I'll predict right now, Jeremy Langford is already the Bears' #2 running back. I don't think there's much question about that.
I think so, too. He's got that breakaway speed. We saw a little bit of that today. We've heard John Fox and Ryan Pace both discuss it. Beyond that, he's their guy. Kadeem Carey isn't. Sonoris Perry isn't. Jaquiz Rodgers is, but I believe he's a little bit more of a specialty role. They talked about Langford's versatility. Don't be surprised when you see him split out in the formation where he has an opportunity to kind of use that speed in space. He looks impressive, and I think he's going to have a role right away.
Kevin, 5th and 6th round picks are not locks to make football teams. You would hope that Adrian Amos and Teo Fabaluje are. I think Fabaluje probably ends up on the practice squad. It's hard to know where Adrian Amos fits right now, and he may be more a cornerback than a safety.
Yeah, you know, they love his cover abilities, and that's something he prides himself on. He scoffed a little bit about the scouting reports that knocked his physicality. We'll learn more about him as we get into the OTAs and the minicamp and obviously in Bourbonnais, but he's going to have to prove himself on special teams. If he wants to make this roster, if he wants to have a role, it's going to have to be on special teams.
And Arthur, we talk about priority free agents. It's impossible to predict one making the roster. There's some interesting young men out on the field, though. Anything you're hearing from any of the coaches or anything you saw to suggest somebody's got a leg up on other players?
I think there's a couple of defensive backs to keep an eye on. UCLA's Anthony Jefferson, the safety, who impressed a little bit at the Senior Bowl and obviously enters a great opportunity. There's a lot of question marks at safety. Similarly, Jacoby Glenn, the Central Florida defensive back, we had a late draftable grade on him. Some analysts thought he was a mid-round pick, and he has the press ability. Obviously has some experience going up against Brashad Perryman and some of these guys in a big-time passing offense.
That's going to do it from Rookie Minicamp for the Chicago Bears. But stay with us, guys. We've got a veteran minicamp coming up in a couple weeks for the best coverage of the Chicago Bears all summer long, taking you right into Bourbonnais at chicagofootball.com.